Imagine this. It's late evening, 1920s, Hershey, Pennsylvania. The whole town smells like chocolate. That's not a joke. The Hershey factory runs day and night. And the smell drifts through every street, every yard, and every open window. Now, most people have gone to bed for the night, but in one small house, the lights in the basement are still on. A man is down there alone. No fancy equipment, no lab coat, just a work table, some basic tools, and two things he can't stop thinking about: peanut butter and chocolate. He's been doing this for weeks. Mix, shape, taste, adjust. Mix, shape, taste, adjust. His wife, she thinks he's a little obsessed. And she's right. But something keeps pulling him back down those basement stairs. Because every time he tries a new version, it's almost perfect. Almost. He just needs to get it right. And one night, finally, he does. He holds up something small, round, covered in milk chocolate. He takes a bite, and he knows this is it. Believe it or not, that quiet basement moment would eventually produce one of the best-selling candies in the history of the United States. Welcome to Believe It or Not, the show where weird is real and the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Bryan, and today's story is about a factory worker who moonlighted as a candy inventor, a combination nobody thought to try, and how a basement side project became a billion-dollar brand. This is the surprising true story of Reese's peanut butter cups. The man in that basement was Harry Burnett Reese, H.B. Reese, as his friends used to call him. He didn't grow up in the candy business. He worked for the Hershey Company, but not making chocolate. He worked in the dairy department. You know, milk, cows, farms. Not exactly glamorous. But Reese had something a lot of people don't. He was a tinkerer. He never stopped tinkering. After long shifts at Hershey, he'd come home, head downstairs, and experiment with candy recipes on his own time, with his own money, using equipment that was basically just kitchen tools. He had no guarantee any of it would work, but something inside him wouldn't let him stop trying. Here's what made Reese's idea unusual for its time. Chocolate was everywhere. Peanut butter was everywhere. But nobody was combining them, at least not in any serious commercial way. So Reese decided to try. He developed a soft, slightly salty peanut butter filling and encased it in smooth Hershey milk chocolate. The result hit something almost primal, sweet, creamy, rich, with just enough salt to make you want to try another one immediately. He started selling his candies locally. First, to neighbors, then to small stores. But word spread faster than he expected. What had started as a basement hobby was quietly becoming something real. Reese founded the H.B. Reese Candy Company and developed a whole line of products. But one kept outselling everything else: the peanut butter cup. Small, Simple, perfectly balanced. It was just what people wanted. It had a quality that's actually rare in product design. It didn't need to be explained. One bite, and people completely understood it. Reese rode that product for the rest of his life. Then, in 1963, 7 years after Reese had passed away, the Hershey Company bought his entire business. The company that had employed him as a dairy worker now owned the candy empire he built in his basement after hours. Today, Reese's peanut butter cups are consistently among the top-selling candies in the United States, often outselling even Hershey's own chocolate bars. In this case, the student became the teacher. The employee became the legend. Here's the detail I keep coming back to. H.B. Reese worked for Hershey, one of the most famous candy companies in the world. And he still went home and built something of his own. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't ask his boss if he could try something new. He just went down to his basement, after work, tired, and started experimenting away. There's something almost stubborn about that, a refusal to let the workday be the limit of what he could create. Most people come home from work and rest. Reese came home and built. And the world got something delicious out of it. Now, here are a few believe it or not facts I found while researching the podcast. Believe it or not, H.B. Reese had 11 children. That's a lot of Reese's peanut butter cups. So he wasn't just funding a candy hobby, he was building a business he hoped would support his entire family. The basement experiments weren't just passion. They were survival. Believe it or not, Reese's early candies were originally sold for a penny. Just a penny each, during the Great Depression, when a penny actually mattered. Believe it or not, when Hershey bought Reese's company back in 1963, they paid $23.5 million, entirely in Hershey stock. Reese's heirs became major Hershey shareholders overnight. The dairy workers' basement bet paid off in a way nobody could have imagined. Believe it or not, Reese's peanut butter cups are now the single best-selling candy brand in the United States, consistently outselling big names like Kit Kat, Snickers, and M&M's. The basement invention beat everyone. Believe it or not, during World War II, Reese temporarily shut down all his other candy products to focus exclusively on peanut butter cups, because peanut butter was one of the few ingredients he could still get reliably. A wartime shortage accidentally turned his best product into his only product, and sales exploded. And finally, believe it or not, Hershey and Reese had a personal relationship long before the business merger. Reese had worked directly for Milton Hershey, and Hershey had even loaned Reese money to help him start his candy company. The man who bought Reese's dream had helped fund it in the first place. H.B. Reese had a full-time job, 11 kids, and almost no resources. And still, he built something. So here's the question. What's the thing you keep thinking about? The idea, the project, the experiment that you haven't started yet because the timing isn't perfect. Maybe the timing is never going to be perfect. Maybe the basement is enough. If you're enjoying Believe It or Not, follow or subscribe wherever you listen. And share this episode with someone who loves peanut butter cups. Or Someone who needs a reminder that big things can start very, very small. Because sometimes the sweetest ideas start in the basement. Next time on Believe It or Not, a group of scientists was trying to create something to protect rockets from rust. Their formula kept failing. So they tried again, and again, and again. 39 failed attempts. On the 40th try, something unexpected happened. They didn't create what they set out to make. They created something better. Something that would end up in nearly half of all American homes. It's called WD-40. But what does that name actually mean? And why is the original formula still a closely guarded secret today? You won't want to miss it. Before we go, here's an unbelievable joke for you. What happened to the Reese's peanut butter cup when the boy dropped it? It became Reese's Pieces. Until next time, keep wondering, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the truth is weirder than fiction.